Push That Rock here with Simpson Math. Shout out to follower Esteban Resendez for this Midwestern State University cap. Thanks. Okay, in this video we're going to talk about dividing fractions. We're interested in dividing algebraic fractions. So for example, if I have the fraction x over x plus 2 and I want to divide it by 3 over x plus 1, how do I do that? But of course, algebraic fractions are just standing in for numerical fractions, arithmetic. Algebra is just arithmetic in general. So let's go back to grade school and remind ourselves, what does it mean to divide by fractions, okay? So for instance, what if I have a half divided by a third? You might have learned how to do something like keep, change, flip, or some other technique for handling this, but I want us to understand what is going on when we divide a half by a third. So let's think a little bit about some pizzas. So let's say we have a pizza and we cut it in half. We have a pizza and we cut it into thirds. So here I've highlighted 1/2 of a pizza and here I've highlighted 1/3 of a pizza. Assuming the pizzas are the same size, then the question, 1/2 divided by 1/3, what does it mean? 1/2 divided by 1/3 means how many 1/3s will fit into 1/2? And the answer is clearly a little bit more than 1, because you can see that the third, maybe I need another color here. If I were to divide this pizza into thirds, then there's a third there, but there's a little bit more, okay? So obviously more than 1/3 will fit into a half. How do we find the exact number? Well, it's easy. You do what you've always been doing with fractions. You just get an equivalent expression. So we all know, we learned this very early and everybody understands that a fraction like, say, 1/2 is equivalent to 3 over 6. That having 3/6 of something is the same as having 1/2 of that something. If I've got 3/6 of a pizza's been cut up into 6 slices and I have 3 of them, then I have half the pizza. And how do you do that? Well, you just multiply by a form of 1. So in this case, I could multiply by 3 over 3. 2 times 3 is 6, 1 times 3 is 3. That's how you build equivalent fractions. So we're gonna do exactly that. Oops, oh, what's going on here? Oh, this video may have to be reshot. Why is it doing this? Okay, finally, all right. So to build those equivalent fractions, I'm just going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same thing. So I'm multiplying by 1 and I'm not actually changing the fraction. I'm just building an equivalent expression. And in this case, I'm going to look at my denominators and that's what I'm going to multiply by. So I'm going to multiply by 2 times 3 on the top, and I'm going to multiply by 2 times 3 in the bottom. So in the top, I get 2 times 3 over 2 divided by 2 times 3 over 3. If it helps to think of a 1 down here, you know, that's fine. These 2's cancel, these 3's cancel, and I'm left with 3/2. Oh, 1/2. So 1/2 of a third will fit into a half. That's what division means. Okay, so now we're going to do that same trick for algebra. So we're going to come over here and we're going to, maybe we should blow that up so y'all can see what I'm writing. I hope y'all can see that other. We're going to multiply this top fraction and this bottom fraction by the same thing so that we're actually multiplying by 1. So I'm going to multiply this fraction by x plus 2 times x plus 1. Notice I just looked at the denominators and chose those denominators over 1. And I'm going to multiply the bottom fraction by the same thing, x plus 2 times x plus 1 over 1. Okay? What does that give me? Well, when I multiply this fraction by this fraction, the x plus 2's are going to cancel, just like over here the 2's canceled. Okay? And that leaves me x plus 1 times x. And this 1 times that is just 1, so we can drop the 1. So that's what we have in our numerator. We We just have this in our numerator. What about in the denominator? Well, down here in the denominator, the x plus 1's will cancel, just like the 3's canceled over here. So that leaves me 3 times x plus 2, and so I have 3 times x plus 2 in the denominator. You can distribute the x and the 3 if you want, and make it look like this, x squared plus x over 3x plus 6. This is equivalent to this, but this is the simplified form of this complex fraction we started with. Math made simple, it's Simpson Math.